Rockingham, and welcome to, we're just saying we get caught off guard here. Good morning, Rockingham. It's October 10th, and welcome to the feed. We're here with Marty Gallagher and Mary Helen Hawthorn. We're going to talk about things happening in the BF here pretty soon.
There's a lot of things happening in the BF.
Yeah.
And surrounding areas. First, I want to give a shout out to all of the local participants that came to the pumpkin run last Sunday morning. We had a Rotary sponsored second annual pumpkin run out at the Saxon River Rec. We had 22 brave people that ran an obstacle course carrying a pumpkin.
And what station did you man?
I manned the hula hoop station.
So people had
had to hold their pumpkin and hula hoop.
That could be a challenge.
Oh,
I have
that's
trouble
a challenge.
just hula hooping. But
Oh, I thought you could say you have trouble just holding a
or
pumpkin.
that too.
The hula hooping's no problem. It's the holding the pumpkin that was the challenge. That's right. So I just wanted to thank all the local runners that came out for that. We had the weather wasn't the picture perfect, but it was still a nice day. And coming up this weekend, we have the 6th annual D Run, which happens up at High Meadow Farms, which is up on top of Paradise Hill. It's a 5K run and or walk.
Mm-hmm.
Its registration is at 9 a.m. The race starts at 10:30. This year they're doing a fun run for kids 7 and under, and they're doing the team competition. So if you get together a team of 6 or more, you can go to the team competition and you can get the team trophy.
Yeah, and it looks like the weather's going to be
I think the
good.
weather's
I
gonna
mean,
be-
it's warm right now, but I
Yeah.
think it's supposed to dip down a little bit, so the
Cool.
running
And I
would be
think the
better.
running will be easier, and I think the foliage, I mean, the view from there is
Oh,
just fantastic. We actually have a clip that we're going to show, not quite yet, because I have a few other things. So to give you a little more of the visuals of the D Run. Last week we had Johanna Ryan on, the naturopath, and she's actually offering, starting next week, an autumn cleanse and detox program, which she talked a little bit about last week. So if you're interested, it's a 3-week program. The cost is $75. It's 3 classes. It's Monday, October 15th, Monday, October 22nd, and Monday, October 29th. Each of the classes runs from 6 to 8 p.m. And then any participant is eligible at the end to receive 50% discount on 2 of her craniosacral therapy sessions, which is an energy medicine treatment. So if you're looking to kind of jumpstart and clean things out and have that little autumn thing before we go into the whole holiday season, which will be coming up soon, contact her. Her phone number is 802-732-8428.
She was a great guest.
She
I mean,
was, yeah,
I
we're
like
gonna have
that
her
whole
back.
mind, body,
Mhm.
wellness,
Yep.
spirit way of looking at.
Yeah, and I'm
Everything.
actually signing up for this, so I'll keep you up to date on how the cleanse and detox program is going. And again, I want to reiterate that the Bellows Falls Board of Trustees, we're just going to be hosting a community appreciation barbecue. That's this Sunday, October 14th. It's going to happen right after the Firemen's Parade. You can meet the village president, the trustees, the village officials. It's going to be a nice barbecue, a nice community event. It's 2:30 at the Bellows Falls Fire Department Police Building.
Okay.
And then just one more thing, sorry. Grafton Elementary
That's
School,
good, no.
again, has their outdoor benefit craft fair. Oop, that was Sunday, October. Never mind, that was last weekend.
And if you missed it,
If you
it
missed
was
it,
last
it was last
week.
weekend.
Too bad for
Sorry.
you.
Sorry.
It was great.
Oopsie, I didn't realize I was still in there. I thought I had all the dates. My bad.
All
So
right.
let's go to the clip.
Let's go to the clip of the D-Run.
Hey community, it's Marty from Fact TV and Greater Rock Fitness. I'm here today enjoying the spectacular view at High Meadow Farms. Joining me are Jim and Jane Macri. We're going to talk a little bit about the annual D-Run, a 5K run walk that they sponsor, and they're going to tell us why they started the D-Run and what the D-Run does for the local community.
Well, the D-Run is truly a wonderful community event. Everyone just absolutely loves it. It's a walk, run, do anything you like event. Through the woods, through the barn, across the fields. The views are beautiful. It's just an absolute pleasure, not only to participate in it, but we get lots and lots of visitors and people that just want to come up and watch, and it's really a pleasure to see. It was, of course, initiated as a memorial to our daughter, Dee Macri, who herself experienced throughout her entire life very significant physical challenges. every day was a challenge for Dee. And we sponsor this run, we hold this run in her memory, and we like to tell the participants that they should carry that in their mind as they're participating in the run. We think that's a nice thing to do. We think it's a good way to honor and remember Dee, and I think everyone who participates has felt that. Money goes into the Dee Foundation, which we organized some years ago. Being true to our mission, we also fund games for the physically disabled in a number of areas. And this is the kind of funding that we like to put our dollars toward. And we're actually at this very moment considering a number of applications in those same areas, and we will be funding further on an ongoing basis as the year goes on.
And come and do a fun event that pays it forward to your community. Join us for the annual Dee Run in October. Hills and trails, rocks and roots, branches and bugs. This ain't pavement. It's the 6th annual Dee Run, 5K run and walk, Saturday, October 13th, 2018 at High Meadow Farms, 84 Paradise Hill Road, Bellows Falls, Vermont.
Wow.
I'm amazed at how you were able to edit in my short haircut.
It's Photoshop.
I am amazed at how that worked. How we were able to do that through the power of editing.
Yep. So the Dee Run, you really should check it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming up this weekend,
a
and
fun
it's
event.
great fun, and it's for a good cause.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We have another fun event coming up, which was a blast last year.
And will
It's
be again this
It's
year.
been growing every year, so I'm
Yes.
looking forward to this year. Is the annual Chili and Chowder Cook-Off.
Yes, part of our, what we call our Harvest Festival. Way for the Chamber and the Bellows Falls Downtown Development Alliance to work together on this event and to bring people and to just bring local people downtown.
Well, yeah.
The way that it works, and in the past couple of years, we've had our headquarters at Popolo. They have an event later that day, so this year our event will begin at Flatiron.
Oh, really? Nice.
And
Yeah.
this is where you will come to get your ballot.
Mm-hmm.
And the way it's set up, which again is to get people to perhaps go into businesses they've never been in before.
Uh-huh.
So there will be a few Chowders or Chili's at the headquarters at
Mhm.
Flatiron. But you'll get your ballot, and this is also your opportunity to pick up your shop local card, which I'll talk a little bit about later. And then you start making the rounds. You can taste the Chowders at Flatiron first, or the Chili's, and then there will be various locations around town with a little map or a little listing to show you where to go.
Mhm.
And I do know last year many people reported to me, even local people, that, gee, I'd never been in this particular business before. For
Or
some
been in
reason-
parts of the
or in
business.
parts
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
business.
Lures me, but anyhow.
I know.
Well,
and
I
some
had the same
people,
experience.
you know,
There's places like in the just places that you go in and you might buy something, but you never go back in the back and
Yeah,
and see what's
right,
going on.
right.
Oh, see, don't even look at me like
And
that.
so, at this point, I think we have at least 10 signed up and probably more. This is an event this is the 4th year, and it really has grown every
Yeah.
year. And last year had tripled. In fact, we actually had not planned on as many as we had. We were happy we did, but we ran out of ballots, so people had
Yeah,
to write it
yeah.
on
Yeah,
a piece of paper.
I got there at just about that time, and I was floored because I came down a little later than I planned, and I was like, wow. And
Yeah.
some places, some had actually run out of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
chili because
Like
people
s-
didn't anticipate, which is hard because
Yeah,
hard
right.
to know how much to make.
Yeah.
And
Well-
there's definitely a competition going on.
Oh,
now.
there is definitely a competition. The last 2 years, Julian Perkins from Jamaican Jewels has won the wooden spoon. We
Mhm,
have a
the-
wooden
yeah.
spoon instead of a silver spoon, and But I know that John Wright at Cafe 7, even was asking me when he was signing up, is she going to be, So there's obviously a big competition among various people, but there's always a very wide variety of chowders
That's what I
and
was just gonna
chilies,
say.
and there are vegetarian ones, and so
Yeah.
that people can taste. We've gone to a really smaller little tasting cup because we felt like last year people were like, oh man, after 2 or 3.
Well,
they
that's-
really
that's-
so you just
Yeah.
want to get a couple of spoonfuls to really see what it's like, and but you certainly by the end of your tour can be
You
pretty
can-
full of really great chowder
Definitely.
and chili.
Yeah, that's actually what happened. Is last year there were so many chowders, and I don't remember how big some of the cup was, but yeah, by the end I was like, I'm not even gonna go try some more because I was full. I was just
Well, we were,
had it.
Sue and I were splitting.
Oh,
We
you
get,
split?
we
That's
would
a
get
good
one
idea.
sample and
And
two
that's a good
spoons,
idea.
and
And
just,
go
because
for
it
it.
was like,
Yeah.
that's too much food.
And that was the nice thing too, is there was a wide variety. There was corn chowders and seafood chowders and hot chilies and see,
Yeah,
last year there
game
seemed to be a lot of
and-
sweet chilies. Sweet
Yeah,
chili seemed
yeah.
to be
Yeah.
the main theme last year. There wasn't as many like knock
Really
yourselves off
hot
hot
ones.
chilies, which
Yeah.
I suppose maybe people think that people won't like, but I
Yeah.
guess that's my thing when you think of chili, is you kind of
I
want
think
that
of it
bite.
as being spicy, but
Yeah.
again,
Mhm.
I think they try to make their chilies and chowders so that they,
Well, this is
For the
New England
masses,
too.
yeah.
You can't,
you
You
better not be
can't
putting red
overspice it.
sauce in
Yeah.
that, that
Yeah.
clam chowder, because that's
Putting
not our
that-
New England thing.
yeah.
Putting no
I was surprised at the difference, the variety in chowders within that whole creamy chowder thing, because
Yeah.
there was some really neat stuff between the sort of seafood ones and then off to the side. It was really amazing.
Yeah,
So
so,
if someone hasn't been before, so they start out at Flatiron. They
Right.
get their ballot and
Right.
they start there and they get their map and they go around and then they have a judging sheet, correct?
yep, they take this ballot with them and they can, make little thing, and then you vote for your 3 favorites in each category, like your 3 favorite chilies or your 3 favorite chowders, because we award a prize in each of those categories. It starts at noontime, it ends at 3 p.m. So you need to bring your ballots back to the Flatiron by
Okay.
3 o'clock if you want your vote to be counted. And then everything will be tallied up and then the prizes will be awarded.
Great.
So usually
You're going to have
around-
to give us the results so we can announce them next week on the feed.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'd be glad to do that.
And
Yeah.
my suggestion to people is they get there early.
Yes.
Yeah,
It took
definitely.
last year, it took a while to wander around. I
does.
mean,
Yeah,
last
we
year
were-
we were going up as far as PKs, coming
Yep.
back down, wandering. And it took some time to because I mean, you run into that was the nice thing too,
That's-
is you'd run into
yes.
people, you'd stop and you'd chat. There was just a buzz of activity out last year, and I'm hoping to see that even more activity and buzz this year. It was fun. It was
Yes.
a fun event.
And then we
it's-
have too many
it's-
places too. We
We
have
have two-
Wunderbar and Moondog
Yeah.
too.
Yes. And
I can imagine they'll
I-
both have great
Yeah.
entries.
Yes, I'm aware that they're going to
Are
participate.
they?
Oh,
Yes.
Oh,
That's
good,
perfect.
good. That's
I know.
amazing.
So
We
it
didn't
should
wanna,
be really great.
spoiler alert, but
The part that I also enjoy, because I usually work at the headquarters side of things, is talking to people from out of town, visitors even, who
Mhm,
say,
mhm.
oh, I came to this last year and I'm really excited about coming again, and
Oh,
I
that's
love
good.
Bellows Falls, and we love to hear that, So that's great. It's also
Yeah, that's we
the-
need to segue to that.
the launch of our Shop Local program. So we will have this is last year's card, but we will have these cards available to pick up, so you can start getting your card stamped even that day. If you go into a business to taste something and you buy something, you can get your card stamped. The back has the participants of who are involved with stamping cards. The cards are worth $100. You put your name on it, or your phone number and your email, and at the end of, usually right around December 31, at the end of the
Yeah,
year,
yeah.
we collect, all the cards are collected up, and participating businesses give small prize. So last year we had over 70 prizes that we awarded. And we have cards in just a very wide variety of places, not just in Bellows Falls, but also in Westminster and just in the surrounding area, businesses that, people regularly patronize. It's a really great way of promoting our businesses. We have several levels of participation. You can participate and have your name on the card and be a stamping person for $30. If you want to have a little bit more advertising for $50, you can get Facebook ads and various ways of being. For $100, which is really cheap in the advertising world, you can get promotions in a listing before the movies at the Opera House. You get radio spots. You get Facebook postings. It really does,
That's really a
promote
good
the
bargain,
businesses.
yeah.
And this is another interesting thing, and we were talking earlier about people who haven't been in certain businesses, maybe even local people. But if you win a gift certificate to a place you've never been in before, it gives you a reason to go there, or even a
That's-
gift of some
exactly.
kind. Like to go in there and pick up your prize. Wow, very cool. And so obviously, probably our biggest place where cards get processed is at like Leasey's Market, for example. But it does get people to go into businesses they've probably not gone in when they win that prize
Right,
that's
right.
from some
Well, it
place
also,
else.
it's like a little bit of a reward system for shopping local and
It
making
is.
people more mindful about shopping local.
It is.
And I like the fact that it gives you a way to track how many local dollars, because
Yes.
each one of those cards is $100, so you can track, and that I
And-
would think would be helpful if a business is coming into town and they're like, oh, I don't know the viability, how much does this community support? From the perspective of the BIFTA or the chamber, you can say, well, we do the shop local promotion, and this is how many dollars are spent at the holiday season, on average. So I would think I think that information, this whole little system is just a really good system all the way around. It's a
It
win-win.
is.
It's a win for the merchants because it's a low cost promotion. It's a win for the locals, because if you shop local anyway, it's just a booyah bonus.
Yeah.
Because you get your card stamped. And it's a win as far as marketing the town to show that there is support of local businesses in
Right.
our town, which isn't always the case in some small towns, especially if there's like an anchor mall or an anchor, some other
Yeah,
type of
that's true.
outlying, big box store businesses or whatever. So I think it's a great promotion. How many years have you guys been doing it? Seems like forever.
Yeah, it does, because
Well, it was started, I think, just
Like
before
10
I came
it's about
to
10 years?
work in Bellows Falls. So I've been doing it for 5 years, and I think it was maybe a year or
Okay,
two
it's
well, it
before
has to be
that.
longer
So
than that, because we were doing
We were doing
promotions back when we were
I can remember the
doing
very first promotion, because the very first one was the takeoff of the Target lady. That was the very first.
Oh, yeah.
That was the very first
fun.
promotion
we
we
should pull
did.
some of those up.
We
That was,
should
they
pull
were
some of
So
funny.
it's
Please-
been
please don't.
certainly, close to 10 years, if not, as long as that. But it certainly has been a great way to do it. I will say, and again, the only way that I have to track spending is how many cards get turned
Right.
in. But last year, we could account for more than $350,000 of spending in the
From
shop local
October
program.
Right.
through December. Yeah.
And if you go and have your car serviced, there's
Yeah.
a couple of car dealers that, you got to buy groceries. You want to maybe buy that gift or whatever. You can go to the movies. You can, whatever. I mean, there are participants from everything
join
that
your
you
local
might
gym.
you
Yeah,
know
you could join your-
something that you might do in just
Yeah.
everyday living.
And if you want a
know.
vibrant community,
You got
you
to
need to
support it.
support
You
it.
got to support it.
And I mean, I mentioned that we had, 2 new restaurants. That's really what it's about. I mean,
It
if you
is.
want places to eat, you have to eat at the places that are there. It's sort of like it's a cycle.
It totally is, and I get, and I'm going to get on my little soapbox again. I get so frustrated when, you read Facebook and you get the negative, and people are like, oh, there's nothing to do in Bellows Falls. The restaurants are all too expensive. Are you flipping kidding me?
Right.
They are not for the quality that you get. And truly, going out to eat isn't cheap anymore.
No, it is not.
If you want good food.
If you want really good food.
If
and-
you want local merchants to stay local, you're supporting, when you go to a local restaurant and you pay, yes, you pay a little bit more, that dollar stays in here. It pays that restaurateur, it pays their employee. They then shop in this town more than likely, and it stays in this town. When you drive up to the drive-through at McDonald's and you pay for your dollar burger, that money doesn't stay.
No, it
It
doesn't.
kind of goes to the corporation, and
And you got to drive to get to it. Well, it's
Right.
funny because I hear you. I tend to eat in town. I know this is a sort of a joke in my family is I don't go out of town to eat. I have my bubble, and they're always
Yeah.
picking on me about
Well-
all you ever do is eat here. But I went out. The other week we went to another town in outside my bubble
oh
in
no, outside your
Vermont.
bubble?
And I had sticker shock. It was like, you're kidding me? You're charging me that for a burger?
Yeah,
I
no.
could go anywhere in town and get it for like half
Right.
that.
Well, and I think the other thing that's really nice about, local dining, is that it's really farm to table. I mean,
Yeah, it really is.
These are, where this food came from, which is really, really important
It's
these days.
hugely important these
And,
days with agribusiness.
so you get great food, and really, when you think about the pricing of it, people, I think, don't really think about the whole picture, and that is that, yes, you're paying for the food, but you gotta pay for the person who
Yeah,
cooks
yeah,
it, and the
yeah.
person who cleans up after, and all of those things, and that has to be, if you are going, the restaurant business is not an easy business. If you're going to stay in business,
You
you
have to-
need to price your food to cover what it really costs you to do it. And
And-
I personally do not see a terrible, I don't see food in the restaurant as being expensive. And the thing that people also have to think about is there is a restaurant meals tax,
Yeah.
9%.
That we have
So
no control
you're
over.
adding that
Yeah.
onto the top
Yeah,
of eating
yeah,
out,
yeah.
no matter where you go. Even if you go to McDonald's, there's this extra surcharge, if you will, added on, which is good for state and tourism and that sort of thing. But that is part of the picture. So you got to look at all of those things and see. But if the food is good, hey, you get what
Yeah,
you pay
exactly.
for.
It's true. Speaking of costs, that's one thing we probably should point. There's no cost. Is there a cost for
For the chili
for
cook,
chili cook?
it's $5.
It's
Okay.
$5
Yeah, okay,
For
to
all
go and
you can
taste
eat
all
chili.
the chili.
Here you go. There's your cheap
And
meal.
the participants pay a fee to
To be in
participate.
it, yeah.
Again, because we promote them and
Right,
that sort of
right.
thing. But it's not really a huge fundraiser. We do make a
I'm
little
guessing it's
money
kind of a
to
break
have
even.
Yeah,
and
but it was
save money.
the idea of covering
but
the cost of the event.
it's really just to cover some of our costs.
Your promotion costs
And-
you have. Yeah.
But again, we don't want to charge a lot of money
Right.
because we want people
Right.
to come and to participate. And again, the whole point of the Shop Local and an event like this, with having what I call sort of a progressive tasting, is, again, you can go and taste the chowder at the bookstore, or you can taste the chowder at the Moondog, or you can taste the chowder,
Yeah, yeah.
Now, what if somebody
Yeah.
wants? What if? Because there's still time. Because
There's
it's
still
not. It's a
time.
couple weeks away. That's why
Yeah.
we promoted it a little bit early this year. Because if someone wants to participate
As a chili
as a
cooker.
chili cooker, how do they go about that? And what if they're just local and they don't have a business, like an individual? Because you had some individuals last
Yes,
year, didn't you?
if
How's
you
that
wish
work?
to be, if you
Well,
want to
they're
be
both.
a
They
chowder or a chili maker, you don't have to have a business. I know last year, for example, there was a person who had, and actually was, placed in the winning top three. I think they were from Walpole maybe, and they had their chili at the bookstore.
Oh yeah, I remember.
chowder.
I remember that.
Yeah, and
That was really
beautifully
good.
displayed.
The really
amazingly
nice
nicely
presentation.
She
Yeah.
actually was a business from Walpole. But,
Yeah, but
I'm
she-
talking like some local, say I wanted to enter
Yeah.
and I didn't have
Yep.
a storefront. So there are storefronts that
Yes, that will
allow
take-
you. But
yes.
that's not going to happen.
Marty's
realistically.
Manhattan chowder.
Yes, no, you can,
We'll-
so what you do
If anyone knows
is,
Marty, the likelihood she's going to cook is slim to none.
this is a poster about the event,
Mm-hmm.
and those people, those businesses that have agreed to participate and maybe are even having a chili or chowder, they have these signs in their window,
Yeah.
and so there are posters around. But the chamber is the sign-up point, and there's a sign-up sheet, but if you want, you can just call the chamber
Okay.
and say that you want to participate, and then you pay your $10 fee, and
You'll figure
then
out
you'll
how
have
much you want
the
it to be.
place assigned if you're not,
Right,
if you don't
yeah.
own the business.
Okay.
Like I know last year, Wyndham Antiques had a couple of different
Yes,
Right,
that's
there's
true.
because they have a
Places,
large
right.
A
place
larger
and that
area,
works
yeah, yeah,
nicely for that, and you know, and those merchants again are really into participating because, or even hosting if they're not going to make a chowder, because it promotes downtown
Right.
and it
Oh, yeah,
promotes people to come. So it's very easy to do, and there are, you can get sign-up sheets from BIFTA. You know, I try to go around, and we've gone around and try to, if you will, solicit people that we knew before, and we've tried to publicize this. So there's still time to sign up to be a participant, and there's still, we're
Still
still in
time for that.
process of getting our list. We're about to go to the printer with our cards for this year. And again, we have a variety of participants in Shop Local. Some people only participate as a sponsor.
Right.
And they don't stamp cards because it maybe doesn't really work for their business to
Right.
stamp cards. But then there are people who, you know, go the whole route and participate and stamp cards. And I have to say that I really appreciate the extra mile that all the businesses go, because sometimes, you know, like Leasey's, for example, here you are checking out somebody's groceries at Thanksgiving,
And then you gotta
and
And it
yet
could be
you're
$100
taking the
worth of-
time
yeah.
to stamp
Yeah.
their card
yeah.
and collect those cards and make sure that they get turned in, and so it's teamwork. It's everybody
Yeah,
working
yeah,
together,
exactly.
but for a really great cause.
So just to quickly reiterate, because we are running low on time, it's the 4th annual Chowder and Chili Cook-Off. It is on, I actually don't have it.
Saturday,
The
October
27th.
27th.
Yes.
12 to 3, starting place is Flatiron. So you want to do next week on the feed?
Next week on the feed, we're going to have some of our favorite people back. Jesse and Bob Haas are coming back, and they're going to be talking about the Westminster Firebug. And we teased this a little bit, but it's really a fun story. It's an interesting story. It's like crime scene investigators local. So it's going to be a great show. I hope you enjoy it. Mary Helen, I would like to have you come back and talk a little bit, maybe in next month or so, while we're doing the Shop Local, about the businesses that have come in the last year, because there's really been a lot.
Yes.
And then there's several on base that are ready to go. There's like the Nano Brewery that they're working
Yeah.
on the island, and the commercial kitchen, and there's all sorts of stuff happening that I don't know if people have
Know
heard about yet.
Right.
And then, people, like you said, people are, oh, nothing happens in Bellows Falls.
Exactly.
But there's
There's a
things that are
lot.
loaded up, and they're
Yeah,
coming
ready
down
to
the
go.
pipeline, and
Yes.
it'd be good to talk about them.
Us-
Yes,
gonna
I'd
cut
be
you in
very
a minute.
happy to come back, and I'm just absolutely almost amazed, but know that it's because people really care about Bellows Falls. But honestly, almost every ground floor space, I have
Yeah.
2 vacancies in downtown, which is unbelievable.
Awesome. Alex has given us the cue.
Okay, we got to get going. Thanks,
All right,
Alex,
thanks.
and thank you, Mary
See you,
Helen.
community.
Bye.
That's it, folks, for the feed. Be sure to catch us every Wednesdays at 7:30 a.m. Also, find us on Facebook at Fact TV, or tell us what you think. thefeed8@gmail.com. And don't forget to watch the feed online at www.fact8.com.